Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here to present you my NBA morning shoot around for Monday, December 16th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for our DFS needs. So make sure you come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So we got a solid little 7-game slate here. I think it's going to be a pretty fun one. I already found some good value. We got some guys that pay up for. Definitely, I think it may turn into kind of a little bit more of a stars and scrubs kind of night because there is some really good value out there. But there's also some good mid-tier plays also. So maybe not, But hey, we'll jump into it and we'll kind of see where we end up at. As always, I'm going to do 5 or 6 top plays at each position, kind of help you start building your player pool for the day. And let's go. So we'll start at point guard. Russell Westbrook going against San Antonio, 10.4. He's going to give you a pretty good floor. He doesn't give you the same upside, playing along James Harden as he gave us in the past. The upside is still there, but he's definitely not doing it as often. But the floor is still there. I think he still gives you a floor of 40, 45. You need about 51, 52 to get 5X. I think he can definitely get you close to that. His game should be pretty competitive against San Antonio. Russell Westbrook, if you want to pay up, I think he is the guy to pay up for. Then we go down a little bit. We got Damian Lillard at 8,700. It's just too cheap of a price tag for Damian Lillard. Going against Phoenix in a very up-tempo game, I expect Portland to win this game. And like I said, 8.7 at Lillard. That's kind of getting to a little bit disrespectful of a price tag. I like him, man. I definitely think he can get you 5X, even 6X. In this matchup in a very up-tempo game. 8,700, really like Damian Lillard. Chris Paul, 7,300. This is too cheap of a price tag for Chris Paul as well. Going against a young Chicago team. This is a game he could definitely excel. 7,300, all you need is 36 for value. Chris Paul still gives you 45, 50 fantasy point upside on any night. So I like Chris Paul, man. I really do like him. I think that he's more of a GPP play, but he's going to be low owned, and he could be a really sneaky play on tonight's slate. To go drop down a little bit, get a couple mid-tier guys, a couple value guys. First, we got Derrick Rose going against Washington. Washington doesn't play any defense. They're just looking to run up and down and outscore people. 5,700 for Derrick Rose. The minutes have been there. I think this is a pretty good spot for him. Pretty good price tag right there in the mid-tier. I like Derrick Rose a lot, so I think he's a really good play. Kendrick Nunn at 6,000. I think that he's a really good play as well. The guy's been playing pretty good. For Miami, he's getting his run. He fills up the stat sheet, does a little bit of everything, exactly what we want in our fantasy players. So Kendrick Nunn, 6,000, definitely another good play today. A guy that's probably going to be crazy high owned and he's probably going to be the chalk value play. You probably just put him in and move on. It's going to be Jalen Brunson. We know that Doncic is hurt. 3,700, this guy definitely has some upside as well. We've seen it last year when he was getting some extended run. So, man, if you're looking for value at the point guard spot, probably just put Brunson in if he's going to get the start and move on. Forget about it. Don't overthink the play. It's a really easy play. Lastly, GPP, but I still think that you can look at George Hill at 3,900. He's getting that run off the bench, playing about 25 minutes a game. He does have some upside. I think he can get you 6X on this price tag easily. If you really wanted to in GPPs, you can go cheap with Brunson and Hill and pay up elsewhere. I think you can get away with it, but Hill is a GPP play. Brunson, I think, is an easy cash game play. Moving on, shooting guard, James Harden. We start at the top, 12.4 against San Antonio. Over the years, he's had, decent games against San Antonio. The price tag is up there. But the guy's averaging, 35 points a game. It's ridiculous. Him and Westbrook are actually playing pretty well together. It was coming into the years like who was going to take the bigger hit, Harden or Westbrook. It's definitely been Westbrook. Harden's still getting his regardless, and I like him in this match at 12.4 against San Antonio. He just showed us the upside a couple games ago with 80 fantasy points, so he definitely has to be considered in play. Moving down a little bit, next guy I'm going to talk about, I like Jimmy Butler going against Memphis. 9,400. We need about 45 for him to get value. I definitely think that he can get there. More of a GPP play for me here, just because I think the price tag is a little bit high, but the floor is there. He's the best player on this team. They're running everything through him. So Jimmy Butler really is in play. Talked about James Harden going against San Antonio. Look at the flip side of things. DeMar DeRozan, 7,900, a matchup against Harden. Harden doesn't play defense. He's an offensive player. We know that. It should be a pretty up-tempo game, pretty competitive game. DeMar DeRozan, I think that you can look at him in GPPs. You got CJ McCollum, 6,800. I mean, too cheap in a matchup against Phoenix Suns. So it's going to be a up-and-down track meet type game. I like CJ McCollum a lot here. I think that you can use him for cash games and feel pretty comfortable with it at this price tag. If he's a little bit higher, I probably wouldn't be talking about cash games, but 6,800 is a very fair price. I mean, all we need is about 34 for value. We already got him projected at 37. So he's already crushing value based on our projections. So I like McCollum. A couple guys, we're going to get some value guys in here. First we'll talk about Norman Powell, 5,000 with Van Fleet's been out. Powell's been getting some extra run. He's been playing very well. I think he's a guy that we can definitely look at as a kind of a lower mid-tier value play. Divincio from Milwaukee, 4,000. He's a guy that's been getting some extra burn. You need 20 for value. We got him projected at 23. I think he's a guy that we can look to as a value play too. But he is a GPP play. I will say that. And Powell, I think, are GPP plays also. One more guy. I'll look at Kyle Anderson, 3,700. It's a dirt cheap price tag. He's coming back from injury. They're working him back in as he gets going. They're going to give this guy minutes. He's a good player. He played very well for them last year. So, I mean, it's all about minutes with him. If you think he's going to get the burn at 3,700, he definitely has massive upside on this price tag. Next, we'll go to small forward. Antetokounmpo against Dallas. I mean, this is a spot where he can crush. I mean, anytime Antetokounmpo's on the slate, anytime Harden's on the slate, you can feel comfortable playing these guys. They just give you a ridiculously solid floor. Antetokounmpo's making his push for his second straight MVP. The guy's playing well. The numbers are off the charts. The upside is there. Definitely think that you can look at him. We got him projected right at 5X, so that's what you want for cash games. I like him. Siakam, 8,600. The price tag's down a little bit, going against a young Cleveland team. They need this guy, second best player on the team, if not the first best player. He's been playing pretty well this season. They give him a ton of minutes. I think the floor is pretty good as well. And this is a matchup I think he can definitely excel in, going against a young Cleveland team. Siakam definitely in play. Kelly Oubre, he's been playing good, man, going against Portland. I think he is a GPP play here, but I mean, just based on the price tag, it's too high at 7,700. But he's going to be a guy that's low owned, and he definitely still does give you some upside on his price tag. He can score 45 fantasy points any given night. He's playing the minutes. If he doesn't get in foul trouble, Uber is a really solid GPP play. Carmelo Anthony, yes, I'm talking about Carmelo going against Phoenix in an up-tempo game. He's going to get a matchup with Oubre or one of those guys. Man, he can definitely dominate those young guys. He's been playing very well since coming to Portland, scoring the ball. They're looking to get him. They're looking to really get him involved in their offense, and he's getting 15 shots a game, doing some of the little things. He looks energized after being out for over a year in basketball. He's going to do his best to really show everybody that he deserves to still be playing in this league. And this is a really good matchup going against Phoenix. Moving down to kind of more the mid-tier, lower tier, a couple more guys I think that we can look at. Dorian Finney-Smith at 4,100 getting the start. He's been starting, and all you need is 21 for value. We got him projected at 26, 6x. I mean, that's an easy play if you think he's going to get the run. I like him a lot. OG Anunoby, we talked about Powell. Same thing with Anunoby. They're both getting an extended run with the injury to Van Fleet. I like him. I think that he's in a good spot here to have a really good game going against Cleveland. Derrick Jones, 4,100. He's just too cheap, man. They like this guy, and he's always hurt, but when he's healthy, they play him. And 4,100, you need 20 for value. We got him projected at 22, a little bit over 5x. I think that he's a really good play that we can continue to look at. There's a couple more guys that I like. One more guy is going to be. I like Mikal Bridges at 4,500 for Phoenix. I think that he's a good play. We have him projected kind of low, but we're waiting on some injury news with that. That's something that we got to wait on. And then one more guy that was kind of standing out to me. Oh yeah, I already talked about Smith. So I'm giving you guys a couple extra guys at each position just because I think there's a lot of really good plays today. We'll start at power forward. I mean, I'm not really too crazy on Porzingis. I think you can look at him at GPP. The guy that I really do like, though, I like Bam going against Memphis. I think this is a spot where he can absolutely crush. 9,300, the price tag is up a little bit, but I like him. I think he's more of a GPP play, but I definitely think he gives us a little bit of upside. Lamarcus Aldridge, 7,700, up-tempo game against Houston. I think this is a really good spot. This is a buy low opportunity for Aldridge at 7,700. I think he gives us a really good floor. Aldridge is a really good play. I do like Aldridge more than Porzingis and more than Bam, but I do like Bam as a GPP play a lot. But Griffin, game time decision. We got to wait and see what happens. If he does end up playing at 7,200 against a Washington team that doesn't play no defense, he can definitely crush here. But he's just not looking like the same Blake Griffin that we know from the past. He's a GPP play, but if he does play, I think he is a good play. Bertans, 6,400. He's getting a boatload of minutes. He's playing well. I like him going against Detroit, especially if there's no Drummond and no Griffin, and Detroit's going to be playing some backups, big men. Then Bertans could really excel right here. I think it's a pretty good spot for him. Comiskey at 4,900, continuing to get the start, continuing to play well. I like Comiskey. I think that he's in a solid spot here. You need about 25 for value. We got him projected at 26, right around 5X. Sark is the new. I'm not on Sark, but I talked about Bridges in the small forward spot. If Sark is out, Bridges will get a bump in minutes, and that's kind of what I was talking about with Bridges. So we got to wait on this news. And lastly, a guy I think is a really good GPP play. Christian Wood for Detroit. If Griffin, Drummond, if those guys are out, this guy's going to definitely get some extended run at 3,800. I think he'll be a no-brainer. I already gave you two premier value plays. Brunson if he starts, Christian Wood if he starts. Put both of those guys in your cash lineups. Fill out the rest the best you can, and you're going to be looking good going into tonight's slate. Two easy value plays that I've given you. Hey, write them down. Don't forget about those guys. Keep an eye on the news. Lastly, we'll finish off with center. Waiting on the Drummond news. Hassan Whiteside going against a Comiskey down there for Phoenix. I mean, Whiteside could absolutely dominate Comiskey. Comiskey can't handle Whiteside. I like him a lot. I think this is a pretty good spot for Comiskey. Going down, Wendell Carter, he's a game-time decision if he does play. I think that he's a GPP play, but he can have a pretty good game here. Going against OKC. It is a little bit of a tough matchup against Steven Adams, so I will consider him strictly a GPP play, but he does give us a little bit of upside here. A couple more guys. I like Brook Lopez going against Dallas, 5,300. I think it's a very fair price tag. I think he gives us a pretty solid floor, on this 5,300 price tag. And then two guys, I think you could look at Mahimi, especially if Drummond is out. I think this is a spot he can have a really good game at 4,400. He'll be another pretty good value play. Also, if Drummond is out on the flip side of things, we can look at Thon Maker to get some extra run at 3,500 bare minimum price tag. If Thon Maker gets to start because Drummond is out, put him in your cash games, move on. I've given you three really good value plays out there. Pay up elsewhere. Have a good slate and kind of, go about it that way. So that's really where I'm at with today's slate. If you want a more in-depth analysis, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And hey, good luck on guys' contest, all right? Peace out.